Hala Voice, connecting the Arab voice globally.
He's the one, the only, the Baba, joining us. Hala Voice.
When a recovering Islamophobe talks.
This is to pay a compliment, so I've got to convert to Islam, then I've got to go with a satchel of money apparently to Ramallah jewelers.
Absolutely.
BAWB and the friends.
Now, all of a sudden, you have Americans and you have Europeans coming in and moving in to Israel on what's called the right of return, where they're given a free right of return. They didn't grow up there. They didn't live there. They didn't live there 20 years ago. Now they live there.
Bob,
and they moved in there from Europe, and they're given the right of return. What happened to the Palestinians that lived there?
يلا باب انزل على الدبكة.
And welcome to another episode of Bob and Friends here on Yahala Voice. Once again, here for my weekly therapy. We've got a lot to talk about today, folks. A little bit later in the show, we're going to have some of the executive members of the Palestine Film Festival. We'll be talking about the Palestine Film Festival. We'll be talking to member of Team Palestine as they make their venture over to Bethlehem for the Run Right to Movement marathon that they're going to be running over there, both marathons and 10Ks. Phone lines are always open, 708-321-1313 extension 1, and that's 708-321-1313 extension 1. And obviously the big news of the day, Brussels. And it dominates our news cycle. It dominates our news cycle. It dominates our politicians that are running for election. I mean, horribly, 34 people have been killed, and 300 or so were wounded over there in multiple attacks that were done by a bunch of cowards in a cell over there. They are directly linked to the Paris attacks. They're directly linked to ISIS and some of these people having trained in Syria along with ISIS. Some people are saying that this is a result of ISIS losing land in Syria, that they have been knocked back, and now have had at least a fifth of their gains eroded. And as that happens, these people are essentially going to have to leave and head back to where they came from. And so the thought is that this, as ugly as it sounds, may somewhat become the new norm of people that are disenfranchised, somehow have been sucked into this death cult, and now part of Daesh and part of that movement, and now somehow want to take it out on innocent people, be they at an airport, be they at a train station, be they at a restaurant, be they at a nightclub, wherever they are, wherever they can find these soft targets to go ahead and hit them. And so it's an absolute shame. The other shame is that as these things happen, it actually works in the benefit of the people that are fear-mongering. It actually works in favor of Donald Trump. This is exactly, I mean, he even talked about Brussels about 2 months ago, about, I believe his exact words were, it had become a hellhole. And the people of Brussels pushed back on that, and we're saying that, you know what, it's not right to say that. Brussels is a wonderful city, and just like any other city, even the city here in Chicago, it's got its rough and difficult spots. And unfortunately, that is a reality of the world, that it has its rough spots and rough sections. There are sections in Chicago that I've always been cautioned about going and going into, and rightfully so. And so same thing is true all over. And unfortunately, this attack happened, and these people didn't deserve what happened to them. They were just innocently going to the airport or going to the train station, getting ready to go to work, and loved ones now are finding out that, I mean, some people in the United States still can't get in contact with some people that were over there that should have been in the airport at the time. So there's a lot of heartbreak that's going on. But at the same time, we also need to recognize there's a lot of heartbreak that's been going on all over the world that we haven't been talking about. March 22nd, this event happened in Brussels. March 20th, in Yemen, there was a terrorist attack where 137 people were killed. Absolutely no headline, nothing. There was also an attack on the Horn of Africa, and there was no headlines or anything. April 18th in Afghanistan, June 26th in Tunisia, 38 killed. June 29th in Yemen, 35 killed. Again, no headlines. October 10th, Ankara in Turkey, 97 killed. No headline. So you go back through these recent attacks and you don't, it's as if the U.S. media doesn't even care. And do we not care because these people are brown or black or Muslim? Are they not also victims of terrorism? And isn't it been proven time and time and time again that ISIS kills more Muslims than they do any people of any other religion? These people in this death cult they've been said to be a cancer that needs to be eradicated, and that has to be taken. We can't take them lightly. But are they the JV squad? Yeah, I firmly believe that. I know my buddy Rush doesn't, and he busts me every time. But I firmly believe that when it comes to actual tactics and characteristics of war, if you put a well-trained army up against them, they have no hope of holding up against a well-trained army. That's why they use these kind of tactics in order to try to accomplish whatever sick, twisted mission they have. And so we've got to come together, and we've got to realize that we need each other. And as President Obama yesterday said, we have to work. This shows more than ever that we all need to work together as a global community in order to go against the evil people that are out there. And that has to happen. And those kind of things do. If you guys have any thoughts on this, 708-321-1313, extension 1. Would love to hear from you, and would love to hear your thoughts on what we can do together and how we can work together and how we can best work together. The way we don't work together is by having presidential candidates like Cruz out there, Ted Cruz, saying stupid things like, oh, we need to go into and put high police patrol in Muslim communities, in the neighborhoods. Well, let's talk about where I am right now. I'm in Bridgeview. Bridgeview, Illinois, is also known as Little Palestine. It is one of the most friendly neighborhoods I have ever been in. I have never, ever, ever felt threatened at any point in time. And I have been all over this town. I've been into restaurants. I've been to shops. I've been to the shopping stores. I just came from the shopping store around the corner. And many, many people, you can tell, many different walks in there, and never have felt threatened. This is one of the best success stories of U.S. assimilation, of U.S. providing opportunity, a land of opportunity, because you see people coming in and opening up shops. You see people coming in and doing so many great things, and the kids then become higher educated. Almost always, the third culture kids from specifically the Middle East, they outperform the domestically, if you will, the standard white crackers. You know, we're like at a high school education, way above that, and it's just incredible. And right now, you can call us at 708-321-1313, 708-321-1313, extension 1, and you can give us a call. And right now, I think we have Rhonda on the line. Rhonda?
You think correctly.
How are you, pal?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not bad at all. You got to be getting ready. You got your bags packed yet for going over to Palestine?
No, of course not. I don't get my bags packed until like the day before.
Well,
come on.
Isn't it the day before? Aren't you leaving like Friday?
Yeah, I'm leaving Friday. There's tonight and tomorrow. It's only like Wednesday at 4:15. Jeez, Arab Standard Time. Do everything 5 minutes before it's due.
and I take it your husband's been packed since last weekend?
Actually, he has not, because he's traveling for work. So he's been in and out of a suitcase already. So
So he's going to be coming
kind of
home.
packed.
He's going to be literally coming home and then just kind of going right back out to the airport again with you.
Yeah, so he comes home tomorrow, and then the next day we go, and then he's going to be spending a good 4 or 5 days just traveling, because we go through Jordan, and then the next day we go through the Allenby Bridge, and then that day itself will be, it's a cartoon if you really want to think about it that way, because he'll spend what should be probably a 3-hour trip into, depending on how long, I get detained, because let's face it, I'm going to get detained.
Oh boy. So, and you know what? And I worry about that. If we heard about people that have already gone over, has everybody made it through okay? That was one of the things actually I worried about, especially with Steve's issues now coming up. I wondered if anybody associated with Team Palestine was going to have an issue or have trouble getting through.
I haven't heard anything yet. Some people have left yesterday. Some people left the day before. So Steve he has an American passport, and he uses that to get in and out, I believe, and he was not allowed entry into Israel. So that meant, he wasn't able to go to Jerusalem. He's not able to go to Tel Aviv. The problem is I've had that issue before in 2010. So that's what I don't want, is something like that to happen again to me, because I want to be able to go to Jerusalem this time. When I was younger and we never really went to Jerusalem because we kind of took it for granted. And it was more of my mom would go and she'd leave me home with the cousins as a babysitter. I was young and whatever. And then when I was old enough to go, that's when they putting restrictions, when did they build that wall? Maybe 10 years ago and a little bit longer. And that's when I wanted to start going and head into Jerusalem, and I just wasn't able to go because my family wasn't able to go. So now that I have Greg, I'm really hoping that the token white guy can really help me get in.
Wow. Hey,
and the fact that he's, not a Palestinian.
Yeah, and another tip for you to call in on this trip, make sure you get in touch with Ray Hanania. And the reason why I say to make sure you get in touch with Ray, he's got family that is the caretakers of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. So the place where supposedly Jesus, God, is that the place?
Oh, you mean in Jerusalem?
In Bethlehem. In
Bethlehem.
That
doesn't matter then.
No,
See,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what religion you are, because they'll stop you, and it's a matter of they'll give people visas only to Bethlehem if they really want to. Mm-hmm. So if you do that, then you're just limiting yourself even more.
Right, but what I'm saying is
not to associate with the West Bank people.
This is Easter weekend. This is huge in Bethlehem.
Yeah, we actually arrive on Easter Day to Palestine. So that's the day Greg and I will be crossing the bridge. And so, I always tell him, I was like, when we cross that bridge and we finish our final destination and we're finally inside Palestine, we're going to be in Jericho. And he's just like, okay, that's it.
Oh, man.
I'm like, no, that's Jericho. Joshua fought the battle there.
You know what? He's going to come back.
You're really excited about that, aren't you?
All right. And I love that he's going with such low expectations, because I think he's going to come back a rocked man.
Yeah, he's actually really excited. He really is excited. I mean, there's a lot going on for him in these next 2 weeks. He's meeting my family, which, it's one thing meeting friends out here, but it's a different thing. You're meeting aunts and uncles, people that are related to me, people that I look like. I mean, he's going to witness that there's people like me, which God help him.
In Palestine, so he's going to be over there meeting the fam. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, and then, we're going to be going through this experience with Team Palestine, and so he'll have some sense of familiarity. He knows most of the team, and he knows Steve Sosby, so it's not like it's a world that he doesn't know. And then, we get to do some sightseeing, which, another vacation, which is another thing for him. And then we get to go back to Jordan and do, spend a day or two there, which there's still more family to meet there as well. So he's constantly going to be busy doing something. He's really excited. And
that is,
I have to thank Andrew Zimmer and Anthony Bourdain for doing those shows in Israel and Palestine, because he's just like, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to try that.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So he's got things that he wants to do as well. That is totally cool that he's going to be there. And you've got there's a lot of people going to represent Team Palestine. There's like some
There is.
50
We've
or
got a lot of
something?
people from all over the world.
That's right, from all over. And I heard that there were 50 people. There are like 33 women and 17 men that are part of.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
That is awesome. And you're running the full marathon, or are you running just the 10K?
Oh gosh, no, not the 10K. I would kill myself if I ran the 10K. I shouldn't be running the full marathon because my training hasn't been as well as it should be.
Okay.
But I will be running the full. So the full is going to happen. I'm just going to take 2 days to do it. So
there you go.
We're going to have people from Dubai. We're going to have people from South Africa. I think some folks from some Latin American countries. I cannot pinpoint exactly which ones. We have people from Jordan. There's now a Team Palestine in Jordan, which has started. We've got Mike Pelod coming and running with us this year.
No,
at Bethlehem.
You wait. You're talking the son of the general?
The general's son, Mike Pelod. Yeah.
Oh man, I just got the chills, and I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's all right.
Oh, you're going to have your
we just
picture
found out
with
a few weeks ago.
Oh man, what?
Yeah, this is going to be pretty insane.
Oh, I'm getting all goosebumpy. This is wild. So it's great. Yeah,
this
folks
is going
need
to be
know.
insane. We've got a lot of people coming. So
you guys have raised. Team Palestine has raised over $500,000 for the PCRF. And the PCRF is one of the best charities in the United States. As a matter of fact, Newsweek had a little thing on the 20 best charities to give to in the United States, and the PCRF was one of those funds. I mean, that's how great it is. Charity Navigator ranks it all the way at the top. You've had recommendations from Desmond Tutu, Jimmy Carter. I mean, it is from the top down, and I have met everyone. I've met doctors. I've met Steve Soseby, and the heart of the squad is people like you, is the volunteers.
You know what? There's a lot of us, and it includes you too, because you have these people that are creating awareness, and the problem with some people that don't know what's going on is the name itself. When you hear Palestine in there, you just don't know what to think. You think it's political. You think this. You think that. And then you have this network of people, whether they're doctors, they're optometrists, they're dentists, whatever it is, fundraisers, people, like you that are you just spread the word about it ridiculously. Everywhere Bentley goes, by the way, people out there listening, he just talks about the PCRF.
I do.
PCRF. So you do, and that's what makes this organization so grand and so large. And it's the problem that you have when you encounter with some people is the fact that they go, well, Palestine, oh, well, what is this? And you sit there and go, well, wait a second, it's PCRF, so Palestine Children's Relief Fund. This is going to children. Nobody cares what religion they are. Nobody cares where they're from. They'll take Israeli kids. Does it happen? No, because Israelis have a great system and a health system that they can rely on their own, but they don't judge based on a heritage. And they don't care what people pray to, and they don't care what language they speak. If you need the help, they'll give you the help, and that's what makes this organization so great. I don't know, Bentley, if you heard, but I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. Monday, the PCRF finally broke ground in Gaza to build the cancer center, first ever cancer center in Gaza, and then that's technically the second cancer center in all of Palestine. And the first cancer center was built in Beit Jala by, guess who? The PCRF. So
absolutely,
finally happening.
And why this is so key is that before that treatment center was built in Palestine, they had to try to get into Israel in order to get treatment, and that in itself, there were people getting poor treatment, weren't getting through, were getting blocked for getting treatment, and bad things were happening. So
they weren't allowed to entry, or it's also very expensive. When somebody, if anyone's watched Five Broken Cameras, Iyad Burnett always says people that go to Israel for treatment have to pay so much more because it's so expensive there, especially if you don't have some sort of insurance type of agency backing you up, like a health insurance type of system. A lot of the offerings that are given to people that are Israeli aren't given to people, 10 miles away from them because of their heritage, their Palestinian heritage. And so people have to sacrifice their health and their, just their pain and suffering sometimes because they can't go. It's just as simple as that.
It's sad. And
for their well-being, exactly, just as you said.
Yep, and what's so beautiful about the PCRF, too, is that they have the ability, I mean, you're right, because of how expensive things were, in order to get that treatment, the PCRF uses their money so economically and then also has so many doctors that are volunteering and they have so many people giving to them services and everything else. They essentially make $1 of contribution would do the work of $60. So it's incredible. I believe that was the last rating that I saw on Charity Navigator that it was $60. Low overhead administration fees. So it's not like, these other things where 80 cents of it goes to the administration and 20 cents of it goes to the actual doing the work. No, that's not the way. United Way and some of these other places are that way. Susan G. Kohneman Breast Foundation, high administrative overhead. Not the way with PCRF.
It's definitely not like that at all. And you hear, I'm not knocking any other charities. There was one prominent charity. Actually, I'll knock this one, Wounded Warrior, because of the way the CEOs were spending their money. And I've known and if you're,
I've heard that
anybody in the charity circuit or that pays attention to the charities, everybody knows, anybody that knows the PCRF knows that they don't mess around with their money. And, a few years ago, I heard that Wounded Warriors gave like 4%, because I was about ready to donate a few, some dollars to them. And it was like, no, don't be 4%. Just give it to a vet that it's just better off.
Yeah,
and,
exactly
here you
right.
are. You see this report a couple months ago talking about them, spending on these group outings, and they have bills of $2,000 at restaurants and steaks and drinking and whatever. When you have these kids and these adults that are going into different countries and getting blown up and, losing limbs, and they don't have the help that they should need help because people that are donating to them are really paying for the CEO's extravagant lifestyle as opposed to, G.I. Joe that needs the help.
Yeah. And you're right.
I mean, that doesn't happen with the PCRF, and that's what makes this organization so great.
It is, and that is, and it does so much great work. You're talking all the cardiac work that's been done over there, all the facial work, all the burn work that's being done, the cancer that we talked about here. I mean, there's so much wonderful work that is being done by the PCRF and is well received. The community is so grateful for people coming to help them, where they've been left and abandoned essentially over there. People are coming to help the children, and it goes such a long way. You guys even have your name of Team Palestine. You guys have your name in that cancer treatment ward. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I heard. So
yeah, so
you're
going to have to get your picture next.
How that is. We'll see that.
Yeah, because you guys get a tour of the facility when you're there, right?
Yeah, it'll be really cool. We get to tour it. We get to meet some of the kids. And actually, there's a patient out here now in Chicago who's she's like 2. Her name is Salwa, and she's getting a heart, cardiac treatment. So she's getting heart surgery. Young girl, beautiful little girl. I look at those pictures, and I'm showing Greg, like, if we have kids, they have to look like her. And,
and you know what? Part of
it
will.
They have to be as cool and as fun as her, too.
Yeah, and how old she is? She's a little thing, right? Congenital heart disease?
I think she's like 2. Yeah, she's 2 years old.
Right, and just a little tiny thing. I
She's
saw
young.
those pictures as well, and they do a great job of promoting the work that they're doing. A lot of other funds are always out there just trying to raise funds and not showing what they're doing. They constantly are showing you the work, where the money goes, and the people that are benefiting from your donations. And when you guys come back, we're going to have the banquet. Won't be too far behind that, right?
We're going to have the banquet. Yep, I think it's going to be like May. I'm looking at a calendar. I think it's like May. Oh, it's not Mother's Day or something.
I think they moved it to a Saturday.
It's really bad. I should know this. Look it up.
I will. But I think we'll talk about it when it gets closer. But I think they moved it to a Saturday. I think they're going prime time now instead of just doing the Sunday.
Evening now it's no longer a brunch.
Yeah.
It was on a Sunday like at 3, and then it would be over at like 8 or 9 anyways. And so I think this evening this will be a better layout. People can stay late. I think people won't be rushing to leave Sundays. Think about it. People have weddings on Sundays, at least in Chicago, the Arab American community. We do that. You can stay. You don't have to rush to leave, and it'll be a new format. I think it'll be pretty nice, a little bit more intimate. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to drag Greg to that. That'll be his first full PCRF banquet dinner because he wasn't able to make the last one with me, and then the year before I didn't bring him either.
Oh, so and the full one, because he's been to the Team Palestine once, but he's never been to the full PCRF. If you will.
He's never been to the full. Yeah, because they were on like Sundays at like 3, and he's it's an odd time because I think at the time it used to be around the time where it was a travel season, so it's a little later too. It's in May.
Right.
They used to be in April.
Yep.
And so he would travel quite a bit for work then as well. And so it would just be some whatever. And so we're going, and it'll be pretty cool. I mean, I go every year. It's been, I don't know if it's my 4th or 5th year. I lost track.
I'm getting up there too.
2, I'm like, I'm not counting anymore.
I could. Miko Pilet, I think, was one of my first ones that I went to. So I think that I'll have to take a look. It's either 4 or 5 also that I've been going to as well.
I think Miko was my first one too. Mike Pilet, yeah, he was. I think I call him Mike. It's really funny.
But it is Miko, right? It is Miko Pilet. It's Miko,
it is
though.
Miko, yeah.
The right way to say it. Yeah, and his story is an outstanding one. On the line with us, Rhonda, a dear friend of mine. When I say Bob and Friends, she's right up there. She is going to Palestine to run in the Right for Movement with Team Palestine, to run for charity for the PCRF. This group has already raised over $500,000 for the PCRF. And remember, $500,000, because of the great work, turns in and does the work of about $30 million because of how great they turn that money around. So you were looking for a good fund to give to, you give to Rhonda and the PCRF, and they'll do right by you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, my friend. Safe travels to you and Greg. Lots of pictures, and we'll get together when you get back and go through the pictures, okay? And I want to hear all the good stories.
Definitely will, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, God bless. That was Rhonda.
Bye.
As always, one of the best friends I have in here. She's always been very open in answering my questions, in setting me straight, in telling me the way things really are. Doesn't always tell me what I want to hear, but tells me what I need to hear. And there's no other place you're going to hear this kind of stuff up and down the aisle, or up and down the dial. It just isn't going to happen except here at Yahala Voice. So with that, we'll take some messages from our sponsors. Support these folks because they make this possible. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yahala Voice.
Ashiana Banquets, well known for their beautiful rooms, superior service, and great food. For all your special occasions, call Ashiana Banquets. We will take care of your wedding, engagement, henna parties, bridal shower, baby shower, or corporate events. Reserve today at 630-964-7090. 630-964-7090. Ashiana Banquets has easy parking and seats up to 900 guests comfortably.
اتصل على أشيانا Banquets واحجز لجميع مناسباتك. 1620 75th Street in Downers Grove, Illinois.
مانكاريز كرايسلر جيب دوج اند رام. أحسن شيء إنه عنده برنامج خاص للعرب والمسلمين بدون فوائد. يعني 0% فوائد. هذا غير إنهم بيحكوا عربي وعندهم جميع أنواع السيارات جديد ومستعمل. مانكاريز في أوكلان على استعداد إنهم يوفروا لك التقسيط حتى إذا أنت جاي من البلاد جديد ولسه ما عندك كريدت، أو إذا في عندك مشاكل بالكريدت هم بيعملوا كل جهدهم ليحلوها. هذا غير العروض الخاصة لمستمعين ياهلا فويس. إذا حبيت سيارة خدها لفة وجربها وبعطوك $25 كارد حتى لو ما بدك تشتريها. اسأل عن حمزة أو بلال في مانكاريز وما يهمك أي شيء. مانكاريز 4630 West 95th Street in Oakland, Illinois. 888-631-9187. الرقم مرة تانية 888-631-9187.
Hi, I'm Frank Mancari. I will be at the dealership every day to guarantee you will pay what we pay, and you will drive home today.
Mancari's the one.
Join us at Moraine Valley Community College for our open house for high school students and their parents. To learn why 1/3 of high school students in our area start their college education at Moraine Valley, Learn about the transfer process. Complete the first 2 years of your bachelor's degree here and save thousands of dollars. Take a tour of the campus and meet faculty members. Open house for high school students and their parents, March 19th, 9 a.m. to noon in Building S on our Palos Hills campus. For more information, go to morainevalley.edu.
Register now at morainevalley.edu, and so you can say,
I will achieve my goals.
I will achieve my goals.
I will achieve my goals.
Risha Printing is the best spot for all your printing needs. We specialize in graphic design, banners, channel letters, lighted box signs. Everything from business cards and wedding invitations to t-shirts and car wraps can all be found at Risha. We would like to announce our collaboration with Pristine Line Media Productions, who will provide audio and video services for all occasions, such as weddings, special events, and commercials. Visit our showroom in Bridgeview. Call us at 708-233-6688 to place an order or speak with a Pristine Line representative to learn more about our wedding video packages. For more information, visit trishaprinting.com and pristineline.com.
حلويات نابلس، جميع أنواع الحلويات العربية، كنافة، حلاوة جبن، مدلوقة، ليالي لبنان، عش سرايا، حلبة، عوامة، غريبة، هريسة، بقلاوة. حكيت كنافة؟ طبعا كنافة. ومش بس هيك، لا، في حلويات نابلس بنجيب الجبنة النابلسية من البلاد كل 45 يوم، وعجينة الكنافة بنعملها هون، مش بس بنشتريها جاهزة زي المحلات التانية. حلويات نابلس بإدارة أبو رامي والطبخ الشيف السوري محمد زياد على استعداد إنهم يعملوا الكنافة قدامك في بيتك أو في أي مكان بتختاره لمناسباتك السعيدة. حلويات نابلس، هارلم and 83rd في بريدجفيو.
Order online today at nablissweet.com for second day delivery. We have sugar-free sweets.
حلويات نابلس، تعالوا ذوق طعم البلاد.
Yahala Voice, the Arab voice in America.
ياهلا فويس، الصوت العربي الحر.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back. This is Bob and friends here at Yahala Voice. And on the line with us now is Jamilia, who is joining us. And Jamilia, are you with us now?
I am with you. Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm just wonderful. And if you hold for a second, I've told we've got something special for you. For people of my persuasion that don't know, Jamilia means beautiful, correct? I have been told that
is true, although I don't feel so beautiful today because I'm a little bit sick. So if you hear me coughing and sneezing on the line, please don't change your channel. You can't. It's not contagious through the radio.
The weather going up and down in temperature, there's a lot of that going around right now. Well, you've got about a month to get well, because coming up on April 16th at the Gene Siskel Film Center downtown, right there on State Street, you're going to be there with a whole group of special people, correct?
That is true. We are very excited. The film festival opens this year on April 16th, and we have an amazing lineup this year. I am shocked at how many films we got. In fact, we got so many good films, we extended the film festival by a week.
Oh,
So
wow, that's great.
Yes, that's right. So it's going April 16th through May 5th. So I don't want to hear any excuses about missing the film festival. We've got tons of different days that you could attend.
And there are tons of different movies to see. I mean, the opening night, and have you sold out opening night yet?
Not yet, but tickets are selling very, very fast. So I highly recommend that anybody who wants to get tickets should get them as soon as possible. This opening night sells out every year, closing night sells out every year, and then a few nights in between usually sell out. So the quicker you get your tickets, the better. And also, too, just to throw this out there, when you guys buy tickets early, it kind of shows that you care about these events. It's really important to us to know that the people who we're creating these events for want to be there. So when you buy your tickets early, it's showing all these people who put their hard work in, who don't get paid, that all this effort is worth it.
And is this your fourth year or fifth year of the Palestine Film?
This is 15th.
15th year. Oh, that's right. This is the longest running, correct?
Yes, longest running in the United States, and I think the world, actually. I have to double check that, but I think it's the longest running in the world.
Somewhere I think I remember hearing the world as well, on that. So if people want tickets, you can go to PalestineFilmFest.com. That's PalestineFilmFest.com. If you don't know how to spell Palestine, you shouldn't be going anyway, okay? And it's not spelled with an F, it's spelled with a P. So it's Palestine and then FilmFest.com. And it has great movies. One of them is The Idol, which is the one about the guy that won the Arab Idol, correct?
Yes.
Muhammad
so
Asif?
This year's theme is Muhammad Asaf, that's right. This year's theme is surprising or unexpected Palestinians. It's Palestinians that are doing things that you would not normally expect and representing themselves in a way that is atypical. And what's more atypical than a young kid from Gaza who, swam the ocean, hopped through a hotel room window, got lucky and managed to get himself a ticket to Arab Idol, and then won the entire thing. It's kind of a miracle story.
It is
so
a great story.
We wanted to open up with it.
And you just gave away the ending that he wins the whole thing. I mean, come on. I mean, no, I'm just teasing.
I think anyone that's even remotely a fan of Arab Idol knows that he was the winner. So I hope I didn't. I will give something else away though. The director is Hani Abu Assad, who was the same director that did Omar and Paradise Now, and has been Oscar nominated now twice.
Wow.
So this movie is a fantastic film. It's well directed. The story's good, and for the first time ever, Hani Abu Assad told us that he was so happy to make a film that had a happy ending. And I think that's what we need to see more of.
It truly is. And you're right. It is a great story all the way around in that one. Also, the opening night is also Ave Maria. That's an award. Has it already won an award, or is it just nominated for an award?
It's won a ton of awards, but it was nominated for an Oscar. It didn't win the Oscar, but it's really funny and really, really sweet. And I think that anyone that sees it, also, I believe we're going to have the filmmaker via Skype. So on opening night and on the other night that it's playing. So you can actually chat a little bit. If you have any questions, we'll be able to live chat with an Oscar-nominated director.
Very cool to have that set up. Now, that is not. Will those be showing through the festival, or are they only on selected nights that these movies are available?
Only on selected nights. So we have, I want to say we have about 13 films this year. If not more, I have to double check. But we've got quite a few films, and they're all good. So my film procurement team spends a lot of time weeding out the films that don't fit our criteria. And honestly, we have a certain standard now. It used to be that we would hunt for Palestinian films. There were no Palestinian filmmakers out there. Now we're choosing from the best of the best, and we're getting those films first.
That's awesome.
So it's something to be proud of.
Can I ask another question? If someone was looking to put together a documentary that they wanted to submit to the Chicago Palestine Film Festival, how would they go about doing that?
It's actually really easy. On our website, we have a submit button. We keep submissions open starting from the end of the festival through about usually November. Excuse me. And all you have to do is submit your film, follow the instructions. There's terms that you have to sign off on and all that good stuff. But we do not charge a fee to submit, so anyone can submit. And we're really specifically looking for films that are different from the films that are currently out there. We've all seen the same documentary about the conflict over and over and over again. What we're now looking for are films that humanize the Palestinian people, give us characters that we can fall in love with. We're looking for comedies. We're looking for dramas. We're looking for good movies. We want this to be a date night. We want people to be able to come out, have a good time, see a movie that they like, and if they learn something, that's great. And if they don't, at least they won't regret it.
I like that idea. I like the way that you're putting that together, because you're right. I mean, that is a neat idea to come out make it more of like a date night type thing. I'd be remiss if I didn't already start putting the bug in your ear. The film that I'm talking about is I just got off the phone with one of the members of Team Palestine. It's about Team Palestine. The name of the film is going to be Crossing the Line, and it's equating the marathon runners to kids in cancer treatment and kids going through long-term care and equating those two together, and the Palestinian kids specifically from their angle, and how difficult it's been for them to get treatment, and how that this team is running to make it easier for them to get treatment so that their crossing the line is easier. It's kind of a very neat idea. And again, hopefully people will learn something as well as, get hooked by the emotional strings of the children, because you've been to the PCRF dinners. You've seen how emotional these things are. It's incredible to watch that. And so hopefully Rush is going to do an excellent job at getting that over onto film so that people can enjoy it and make a documentary called Crossing the Line. So I
tell him to submit.
It does.
We would love to have it.
How could you not? I mean, it's a perfect fit, but he's just got to get it done by November, right?
He does have to try to get it done by November, but you know what? If he doesn't, there's always the year after.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can chit chat and show at least a trailer for it if he doesn't have it ready yet.
You know what?
So,
it might be a little bit
difficult.
Yeah, it might be a little bit difficult because I think he's going to also be including the Run for Peace, which is in September, as part of it, which means, because there'll be a couple thousand people at that event as well. And to kind of document that, little people, crossing the line here, to help people cross the line over there. So I know he's trying to incorporate a lot into it. So to get that done by November, that's a monumental task. But all right, so you've got
Chicago Palestine Film Festival loves Run for Peace, so we will do anything we have to help promote your cause.
Well,
so,
the folks here at Yahala,
we'll get together, we'll talk about it.
Yep, and the folks here at Yahala love you guys. The Chicago Film Fest, the Palestine Film Fest, is obviously one of the things that they go out and support actively. They will be there opening night. They'll be I guess they're going to have a booth there where you're going to have some vendors, or some of the supporters are going to be there. You'll see Yahala Voice there. So I'm going to do my best to make it there. That's opening on a Saturday night.
Please.
Yeah, Saturday night, April 16th. That'll be, I believe, tax day. So that'll be the final day to get your tax forms into. So mail your tax forms in. Go ahead. Come on down. It's an easy place to get to. Right there on State Street. It's a wonderful venue. It is a great theater. It is always a good time. And you guys put on a wonderful festival there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Use your tax return money to buy the ticket.
There you go.
It'll be worth it, I promise.
Actually, you should file early and buy your tickets immediately at PalestineFilmFest.com. So get it on.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what? And
file first.
Yeah, file first. Get your refund, and then go ahead and spend your refund. You know what? Just donate your money, okay? Just like take satchels of money there to go to the different charities that you can donate to. So yeah, there'll be plenty of them there.
Perfect.
And you guys are always selling cupcakes and stuff there, so it'll be great. Jamia, thank you so much. Appreciate it very much. And
thank you.
We'll look forward to seeing you on April 16th.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys. And Bob, can you send me a message so we can make sure we reserve you some tickets for any night that you want to come, okay?
Will do. Thanks so much, Jamia. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Have
a good night, everybody.
You too. Chicago Palestine Film Festival at PalestineFilmFest.com. Get your tickets to some of the great events. Again, it's going to be going on, I believe, now for 2 whole weeks. And it is important to go out and support the other nights. Opening night always sells out. Closing nights always sells out. There are a couple nights in between there. As she's saying, they're selecting films to make it fun, that you're going to enjoy watching. And hopefully somewhere, might surprise you, might learn something along the way, and certainly to humanize the people that are caught up in the issues of Palestine. So really, quite awesome. Phone lines are open, 708-321-1313, 708-321-1313, extension 1. Anything you want to talk about, it's open line. And specifically the main thing, again, going back on my agenda here is Bernie Sanders, or I should say the speeches that were given and the speeches that weren't given at AIPAC. AIPAC is the American Israeli Political Action Committee. It is the second most powerful lobby in the United States. The most powerful being the gun lobby, the NRA, National Rifle Association. That is the most powerful, followed by the Israeli PAC. Now, through finagling or however they've gotten it done, it is not considered a foreign lobby. Mind you, Israel is in its name, right? It is a foreign, they are lobbying for a foreign country, but it's not a foreign lobby. See, that little conundrum right there is kind of in a nutshell everything about how we turn things upside down for Israel. Anybody else, any other country that had a lobby with a foreign country in its name would more than likely be required to register as a foreign lobbyist. By doing that, it limits the amount of contact they can have. It limits the amount of money they can offer. I believe it eliminates entirely the money that they can offer because we don't want foreign lobby organizations lobbying our congressmen. It has to be all American. I think. I'm not positive on that, but I'd have to check. So you've got them already bending the rules, but AIPAC is this big convention. They bring all the candidates in. They schedule it right now with intent of having all the essential candidates come in and kiss the ring and make nice to Israel. Donald Trump walks in there and talks off a teleprompter. First time Donald Trump has ever gone off a prompter. He talked on a prompter. Cruz got in there. Cruz, I shake my head at what Cruz got away with saying in there. Cruz essentially said that Palestine didn't exist. Since 1948, Palestine does not, there's no such thing as Palestine. I cannot fathom him saying that. And guess what? People applauded. How could anybody put their hands together for saying that Palestine doesn't exist? Even within that crowd, the fact that anybody would applaud that line is absolutely horrible. So you've got him saying things like that. Trump saying things along the lines that he would, and to their credit, there were a group of people that staged a walkout. There were a group of rabbis that said morally they just could not sit there and listen to a guy talk who was talking in such fascist terms as he is. Neo-fascism is what they're calling what Donald Trump is doing. A guy that is calling for a total and complete ban of all Muslims coming into the United States. A guy that is calling for the identification and the tracking of all Muslims that are all currently here in the United States. Cruz calling for the special policing in Muslim neighborhoods now. And exactly what does a Muslim neighborhood look like? That's what I want to know, because there's really only two that I'm aware of in the U.S., one being over in Michigan, outside the Detroit, and the other one being right here where I'm sitting. And you know what? I should have done this before I came in for the show. I would like to put the crime statistics of Bridgeview up against any other suburb, all the other suburbs here in the United States. I'd like to see that. I really would. And then again, I'd like to see it broken down by the demographics, by, if you will, by culture. See if they've got it broken down that way with the Hispanic, the white, the black, and see if they go with the Arab. See if they break it out that way, because I bet you find that within the community you have probably one of the lowest crime rates, and it's just been my experience. Most people, professional, most people out there. I mean, the amount of shops that are around here that are owned by people within the Palestinian family, either third generation or first generation. You have so many different shops. It's incredible. So you have business owners, you have doctors, you have lawyers, you have, they're all right here, from here all the way down to Palos. All the communities going all the way down that direction. Absolutely fabulous communities. So I would love to see the statistics of it. And the one thing that I'm grateful for, you are seeing many people in the media push back on Cruz and push back on Trump, saying what they're saying, their racist point of view will not be accepted, will not be tolerated. And yet Trump is finding footing. He's finding traction. Cruz, not so much. The recent results that came in Arizona, Trump won Arizona. That was a winner take all. So he nudged out again, not over 50%. He has yet to do that. And furthermore, Trump in Utah only got 14%. Think about that for a second. Trump in Utah only got 14% of the Republican voters. So it really is one of these things that we've got to realize: singling out or scapegoating individual groups of people will not be tolerated in United States politics. We need more people that are willing to stand up to that. And we need more people that are going to stand up and voice it directly. People need to call the Republican committee. People need to call Cruz's campaign offices. People need to call Trump's campaign offices and then get active. And then they need to get active with campaigns that are actively working against it. Bernie Sanders leading that group. Bernie Sanders did not speak at AIPAC. He specifically did not go there. His speech that he gave in Utah, which, by the way, he won. He won Utah with 79% of the vote. It was a landslide. 79% of the people within Utah voted for Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders got up and gave a wonderful speech on Monday night out in Utah where he talked about the Palestinian people. And he talked about the rights of the Palestinian people. And he talked about how that peace will come and it would be the right move for everyone to establish a Palestinian state. And it was really, this man couldn't make it to the AIPAC, but this essentially was his speech that he would have given had he gone to AIPAC. And he didn't, again, tell the people from AIPAC, wouldn't have told them what they wanted to hear like everyone else did. Hillary Clinton's speech made me sick, made me absolutely. She was supposed to give that speech at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., and she ended up not going on till like 11, 2 hours later than when she was scheduled. And the speech showed that she has a Sheldon Adelson-like individual. I can't think of his name right offhand, Neum, and I can't remember his whole name. $34 million that man has given her, and he has bought her. He has absolutely bought Hillary Clinton for saying everything that they want to hear. That she never once spoke of the settlements. Never once spoke in there of the settlements. She talked about everything that the Palestinians had to do, that essentially they had to stop with all the terrorism. They had to, denounce terrorism. They had to recognize Israel. They had to do all as a Jewish state. All these things that were ticked off, just essentially their checklist. You could make this list out in advance, and you can listen to the speakers, and as each one makes their point, you can just check that off, check it off, check it off. And it's an applause line. There were probably 40 applause lines that she had in there. All prepared, all delivered. She signed, sealed, and delivered. She's wrapped up for $34 million. Bernie Sanders can't be bought. $27 is his average contribution. He is not bought. He has not got his head stuck up the backside of the Israeli pack, and he speaks his mind, and he speaks on behalf of all people equally. He's in my opinion right now, he's the only candidate. Is he the best? Is he the perfect candidate? No, you're never going to get a perfect candidate ever. But Bernie Sanders is, in my opinion, right now, the best candidate out there for the job. When it comes to foreign policy, it's all about him. The thing I worry about Bernie Sanders, how much is he going to be able to get done? How much is he controls foreign policy. So that part of it, he's going to have a lot of control over. But as far as the rest of his policies go, the education funding, changing all those things over, that's going to be a difficult road to hoe because the Congress controls the checkbook. I would like to see him make just something little. Make the billions of dollars that we give Israel every year conditional. Just make it conditional. Say that if you build another settlement over the Green Line, if you lay one more stone in one more building across that line, we're cutting you off. Just make it conditional. See, we want you just to conform to international law. International law simply says that you can't take land by force. You can't walk over like they did last week and take another 500 acres and just say we're taking it just because. You can't kick people off their land. You can't build these separation walls. You can't go in and occupy another people's land and set up checkpoints and create the debacle that you have, like, say, in Hebron. where it is just absolutely unbelievable how they've made ghettos essentially out of the Palestinian communities. They've walled them in, and the people, I'm not even the settlers, because they're not Israelis, they're settlers. They should be identified separately. Are given free run. They're given free run. As a matter of fact, there's video out there of one of the Israeli women slapping around Palestinians and the guards standing right there with her and letting her get away with it. It's horrible to watch. It really is. And so these things have to stop. And our politicians have to be able to talk about it. But you didn't hear one person mention anything about that at the AIPAC meeting. So just absolutely sad to see how we bow down essentially to the Israeli lobby, our political candidates. I wish Team Palestine luck. They are on their way. Some are already there. Some are in transit as we speak. Some are leaving here within the next day or so. I wish them well. I live vicariously through all of them that are going to be there, of 50-plus team members that are going to be there. It'll be an outstanding adventure. Folks, if you need a charity to go to, the PCRF is it. Also, the Palestine Film Festival coming up in April. Thanks very much to Jamelia for joining us today and telling us about the festival. And that starts on April 16th and runs for 2 weeks. You can get tickets there at PalestineFilmFest.com. Thank you very much to everybody here at Yahala Voice. And we'll see you all again next week here on Bob and Friends.
Yahala Voice, connecting the Arab voice globally.